Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Hit subscribe right now to my super chat. Thank you so very much. Brett Kavanaugh is going to be confirmed. Lindsey Graham was amazing today. Brett Kavanaugh was very powerful. Lindsey Graham is, in addition to Kavanaugh's complete emotional rebuttal, you cannot accuse an innocent person. You cannot accuse a human being. I don't care if it's the United States of America or it doesn't matter what country you're in. At least if it has a functioning, some kind of civil society, some kind of constitution, some kind of rule of law. You cannot accuse someone without any evidence and demand, because of your accusation, they don't get the job, or they don't get their promotion, or they don't become Supreme Court justice. You cannot simply say, I accuse you, and therefore, because I have made the verbal statement, there's no location. Where's the location it took place? We don't know. All the witnesses that are said to have been there deny it ever happened. Local police were never informed, and local police are the ones who have to go ahead and ask the FBI. They keep on hiding behind the FBI, the Democrats, as if James Comey is still there. They're so stupid. FBI, even under James Comey, didn't have a time machine. They're so inept. The FBI was so inept and incompetent. Well, actually, they weren't. They were very competent in their cover-up. FBI is a political organization they think they can hide behind. They think they can hide behind the FBI and say, well, we need the FBI to get to the bottom of this. The FBI does not make any categorical claims when there's no crime. An incident where two bodies touched and one person says, well, that person was trying to forcibly attack me or hurt me. It's pure he said, she said. And thank God there was nothing more than that. No bruises, scratches, no black eye, no horrific, barbaric treatment, no nothing. So, whereas I believe that women should be believed, I think that the majority of women who state, hey, this happened to me, it's true. At the same time, there are certain people, certain human beings that for whatever reason are manipulated or utilized by the Democratic Party. They knew in July, you're going to hear the tape. You're going to hear Lindsey Graham's emotional appeal when Dianne Feinstein went ahead and interviewed. When Dianne Feinstein interviewed Brett Kavanaugh, she had already given a lawyer, she had already referred a lawyer to Ford. Rhonda, Iowa girl, thank you. I would sue the crap out of Avenatti. Leave Ford alone. Absolutely. Well, with Avenatti, it's like, then he'll say, Rhonda, Iowa girl, he'll say, well, she came to me. Well, my client came to me. How was I to know? This is a sworn affidavit. Don't you know? It's a legal document. Anyone could swear on a legal document something that they know is impossible to investigate. What they did, Rhonda, Iowa girl, thank you so very much, as always. Jesus Perez, God bless you. What they did was very simple. They made the accusation so broad, just like the Mueller probe. This is just like the Mueller probe, and Democrats are going to lose in the midterms. Be here on this channel. Tell your friends, tell your family. We're going to have an epic live stream, an epic party live stream when it's all said and done. And I don't care if Democrats get 22 or 1 seat or the GOP gain seats. We're going to have a party on this live stream. And I'm going to try and do something special. I don't know what it'll be. Maybe I'll dress up like Sticks. I'll put no shirt with the leather jacket. Who knows? Who knows? I'm going to do something special. I got to do something special. PMC, yes. I wish I could join you, but YouTube policies. But they tried to destroy the wrong person, and it didn't work out. Robert A. Thank you, Robert A. Ron, the Iowa girl, I agree with you 100%. The only thing is, he's pretty good at kind of insulating himself and being like a circus act. Robert A., thank you so very much. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Robert A., thank you. Anita. Yes. Well, Devin Nunes, Chuck Grassley, am I here? Yes. God bless them all. Brett, absolutely. I agree. Brett Kavanaugh, Donald Trump. Lindsey Graham was absolutely fantastic. But what happened today is an example of the power of the individual. You matter. I matter. The you matter. Every one of the 500, almost 500 people, every one of you has the power to take on the Democratic Party, has the power to go ahead and defend yourself, even if you have a disgusting, vile, insidious entity like the Democratic Party trying to say, well, we have to investigate. We have to go back in time. Joseph Arbuckle, like 13th Amendment. Joseph Arbuckle, thank you. D. Velasquez, wear a Rescue 22 t-shirt. I should get one. D. Velasquez, rescue22.org. Everyone, rescue22.org. It's awesome. Papa D, I've been wondering why I've been humming Victory at Sea in the shower lately. Thought it was the new last ship season. It's Lindsey. Yes. Yes. Robert A., thank you again. Anita, Papa D, thank you. When you try to pull a fast one on good people, what happens is, thank you, Liam, what happens is they throw a boomerang at you and it comes back to hit you. When people have tried to hurt me in my life, and I'm trying to tell you, it's not just my, career in media. People have tried to hurt me, but generally when people have tried to hurt me in my life, for some reason, it works out against them. It goes back to them. And maybe I have an angel or something. But Jason M., keep up the good work, buddy. Love the show, brother. Thank you so much, Jason. Thank you, Jason. Greatly appreciated. Thank you. Rhonda, Iowa girl, that attorney was horrible. It was a sinking ship. Okay, Rhonda, Iowa girl, the attorney from Phoenix, the attorney from Arizona, her job was not to be offensive. It was pretty much not to be offensive because you could have asked a million questions. But she was there not to be offensive and to just get the basic framework. All they wanted to do today was see if there was any kind of smoking gun. Was there something that we didn't know? So people like, idiots like Jeff Flake can just vote and just leave. Just leave. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. And then hopefully McSally wins. But what the allegation, and I don't know if Dr. Ford, I don't know if Dr. Ford is telling the truth. She could be. Let's say assume she's telling the truth and assume it's mistaken identity, or assume that she believes in her, she remembers what she remembers. She is honestly saying what she believes to be true. If that's the case, then the allegations are so incredibly broad and vague that you would need a time machine, literally a time machine. And even if you had a time machine, you couldn't even find out where the alleged assault took place because nobody knew the house it allegedly occurred in. Why do you not know the house? Well, if you knew the house, then you'd know the owners. If you know the owners, then they'd have to go ahead and corroborate. Uh-oh. Then you have like some people are like, well, that guy Judge, he worked at a Safeway. He worked at a Safeway in the 80s. Yeah, so what? She said hi to him, and yeah, so what? That's not evidence. Well, she repeated it. Yeah, that's still not evidence. At this point, you need evidence to. This wasn't a job interview. People say even like it really wasn't a job interview, and it wasn't when they say, well, it's not a court of law, it's not a court of law. They're hiding behind overt treachery. They relish the treachery. Well, that's the way the game is played. We're just going ahead and hiding behind, the bureaucracy of politics. That's just the way the game is played. You lost the election miserably. The game is not played the way you play it. Calamity 450. If there were time machines, this is like Justin Trudeau. It would be for people kind, not mankind. Calamity 450. Stop the clock. Precisely, just the Hillary Espionage Act accusation. Magnificently broad. Exactly. Well, U.S. Code 793F. U.S. Code 793F is the actual statute that even if she didn't intend to commit crimes, that's what they could have gotten her for. But the Espionage Act, they're like the whole thing was written specifically for people like Clinton. But the accusations were so broad. Well, I don't, who knows who, well, really nothing was asked, but you had to have Kavanaugh before we get to Lindsey Graham, who was he hit the grand slam, but Kavanaugh put men on base. Here you have a person who lived a normal American male's life. A normal white, black, Asian, Latino, doesn't matter. Your religion, Jewish, Catholic, Christian, Muslim, it really doesn't matter your religion. If you're a boy and a man, an American male in America, doesn't matter whether you're gay or straight, doesn't matter. You have lived Brett Kavanaugh's life. In high school, I played football. In high school, I played baseball. You've lived pretty much his life. You've had friends. You did stupid things. You lived pretty much his life. Okay. Oh, yeah. Maybe you drank a beer. Jeff B. Thank you, Jeff B. Thank you. And the funny thing is, the midterm voters are generally older. Trump does pretty well with these voters. They generally, exactly, Sandra, normal American life. He lived a normal American life. And what they tried to do is simply criminalize a normal American life. It doesn't matter what your background is. If you live in America, especially in the 80s, you didn't have Facebook or, I'm glad I didn't have Facebook growing up or Twitter, all in nonsense, Instagram. You go ahead, ride your bike to your friend's house, and then you'd ride your bike. Or you'd go play basketball, or you go play football, or whatever. Go to the movies. The movies were a big thing. I think that, like in my early 40s, I'm the last generation to actually experience life without a million cable stations, the internet. Social media, I think, is just destructive. I mean, even though, look, I love YouTube. because I'm speaking to you now. So there are some good things. But he lived a normal life. Now, Dr. Ford could be telling the truth. In her mind, she might be saying, look, this is what took place. This is what happened to me. But you cannot prevent somebody from moving on in their lives because you lack evidence for your claims. The Me Too movement has enough evidence, has enough, not just Harvey Weinstein isn't going to jail because someone said he should. If someone just said he should, he would be continuing to destroy the lives of women. Harvey Weinstein isn't going to jail because someone said, well, you know what? I think this happened at this, I don't know the location, but this happened 30 years ago and Harvey Weinstein did this. No. There's like 30, 40, however many women there are. You have a track record, just like Clinton. It's not just a coincidence. It's a litany of pay-to-play schemes. A litany. You look at the track record of an individual. Nowadays, you're ruined by one accusation. But did you manipulate the woman or man? Did you inebriate the woman or man? Did you deceive and manipulate and do a Harvey Weinstein or Bill Cosby? Or that hurt me seeing Bill Cosby yesterday. That hurt me. I swear to God, that hurt me. Okay, but you go to jail when you do horrific things, and there's evidence also. The Me Too movement is not, I can't speak for the Me Too movement, but I can say that one good aspect of it coming from the left is that it's one of the rare occasions where the left looks at itself and says, hey, you know what? There are a lot of predators who are liberal. Isn't that interesting? How is they say that Trump is this big, horrible person. Well, you know what? He's not Bill Clinton, who has his own sexual assault allegation page. He's not Harvey Weinstein, who's going to prison. And, you have Juanita Broderick, you have Keith Ellison now. I mean, and Keith Ellison's accuser has medical records. Then they want the FBI to investigate simply to stall. And their overt, disgusting quest for power. It's like the precious, like the little, what's his name? The monster in Lord of the Rings. Precious. Oh, precious. They're like the little monster. All of those senators and Democratic strategists are like the little, the Gollum, for precious, we need the power. Outlaw Universe. Did Feinstein break the law? Well, Feinstein maybe she didn't leak it, but someone either in her staff or someone leaked it. The way they always have, well, we just leaked, we don't know. Release the Kavanaugh time for military tribunals. Robert A., thank you. Bruce Tomaszewski, we witnessed history today. We really did. This was despicable behavior. This might be the start of relegations of Dems to third-party status. It's well-deserved. Bruce, they don't know what hit them. And you're 100% right. I don't know if they're going to go third-party right away. But they are on first of all, they're going to get creamed. They're going to get creamed in midterms. So you can kiss midterms goodbye. Before today, I was right in my prediction. Republicans are going to keep control of the House, make history, and keep control of the Senate and gain more seats in the Senate. They will gain more seats in the Senate. After today, you have a base of Trump voters, and it's really Trump voters and Republicans, but it's really Trump voters, people who are saying, no, we're not going to give these people the keys to power. You don't want to give Dianne Feinstein the keys to power. She's liable to run over the whole neighborhood. Light switch, hashtag con job. Yep. Lawrence F. Hello. All just saw a clip of some woman from. See me. Make a soprano pay. Well, look, you know, sorry, Teddy. Who knows what the paper was? That was bizarre. Lawrence F. There's so much bizarre, so many bizarre things. But let's listen, Lawrence F. Thank you, Lawrence. Let's listen to this. This is Lindsey Graham, who just, I mean, it was bases loaded. Talk about Kavanaugh, and these are all the analogies I use. It was bases loaded, bottom of the ninth, down by 3 runs, 2 outs, 3 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch is underway. And listen to this.
Are you aware that at 9:23 on the night of July the 9th, the day you were nominated to the Supreme Court by President Trump, Senator Schumer said, 23 minutes after your nomination, I will oppose Judge Kavanaugh's nomination with everything I have. I hope a bipartisan majority will do the same. The stakes are simply too high for anything less. Well, if you weren't aware of it, you are now. Did you meet with Senator Dianne Feinstein on August 20th?
I did meet with Senator Feinstein.
Did you know that her staff had already recommended a lawyer to Dr. Ford?
I did not know that.
Wait a second. Nosicle J. Lindsey Graham is the new Gomer. Yeah. He grammarized the Democrats. Yes, exactly. Nosicle J. Exactly. But what is this? So he meets with Feinstein, and Feinstein doesn't tell him? So Dianne Feinstein literally just doesn't tell him? Oh, by the way, I'm not going to tell you this, although I'm going to meet with you behind closed doors, and I'm going to just, ask you questions, and all the while I will scheme and pretend that, everything's fine. The last second, the very last second, I'm going to pretend that I care about the Me Too movement. The very last second, oh my God, you're not going to be able to do anything. Let's try to get as much outrage. Maybe the outrage will stop, but it's a Hail Mary pass. Fumble, sack, didn't work out. Now, did it? I need to thank you. So, it didn't work out. Why? Because you had Lindsey Graham.
Did you know that her and her staff had this allegations for over 20 days?
I did not know that at the time.
If you wanted an FBI investigation, you could have come to us. What you want to do is destroy this guy's life, hold this seat open, and hope you win in 2020. You said that, not me. You've got nothing to apologize for. When you see Sotomayor and Kagan, tell them that Lindsey said hello.
Oh.
Because I voted for them.
Oh.
I would never do to them what you've done to this guy. This is the most unethical sham since I've been in politics. And if you really wanted to know the truth, you sure as hell wouldn't have done what you've done to this guy.
Yep.
Are you a gang rapist?
No.
By the way, the best part of that exchange is that Alyssa Milano is on her phone. So all this whole time, I'm staring at Kavanaugh and laser beams coming from Alyssa Milano, and they're bouncing off and they're hitting Dickie Durbin and Blumenthal in the face. Just laser beams. And it's just hilarious. I'm like, oh my God. This is ridiculous. Okay. You also got Tom Fitton on the right, on Kavanaugh's side, which was pretty cool. But it's like, I gotta watch. Listen, what is Alyssa Milano doing there? Like a representative from, like, why? I haven't seen Alyssa Milano or anyone talk about Karen Monahan. Karen Monahan is Keith Ellison's accuser. So, like, I don't get it. Every day, I mean, every second. I'm trying to look at Kavanaugh. I see. It's like, and then that exchange, which was like crazy, she's on her phone.
I cannot imagine what you and your family have gone through. Boy, y'all want power. God, I hope you never get it. I hope the American people can see through this sham.
You all want power. God, I hope you never get it. And they're not going to get it anytime soon. They can't be trusted with keys to power. Democrats can't be trusted. You might as well give, an insane person the keys to your house. You might as well give a person who doesn't know how to drive a car the keys to your car. Christ light. Judge Kavanaugh, his true grit. Yep. They tried to destroy the wrong man. And Kavanaugh just, played it cool. He played it cool. And Dickie Durbin, oh my God, he was so annoying. We'll get to him in a second. But old Dickie, was he annoying? He was like, he's like, go look at Don McGahn. Go look at Don McGahn and tell him you want an FBI investigation. What kind of sick person goes ahead and says, yes, you innocent man, innocent human being, go ahead, innocent person, and ask for an investigation after you've claimed your innocence? What kind of brain-dead fool would go ahead and ask an innocent person to have the FBI investigate, which they don't even, there's nothing to investigate. There's no crime that's said to have been committed. There's a crime, but I'm saying there's no police report. There's no location. Rhonda, Iowa girl, let's go fund me Kavanaugh some beer money. Yeah. Rhonda, Iowa girl. Yes. He deserves a six-pack. What kind of sick, twisted, warped people would ask an innocent human being to go ahead, and this is like the Inquisition. Democrats are so corrupt because they actually have a litany of crimes. U.S. Code 793F could have easily sent Clinton to prison. She transferred top secret intelligence. Papa D, thank you. Papa D, thank you. So she transferred top secret intelligence from Cyprian and Jaywicks and Skiffs onto a server outside the United States government that was eventually hacked by China. And we know that from Louis Gohmert. And we know that from Charles McCullough, the Inspector General for the intelligence community. And they still, the FBI, first of all, the Mueller probe is an investigation into a crime that there's no evidence happened. Then they want the same thing to take place. Like, well, investigate the allegations, but you can't investigate allegations when you don't know where it took place. If an alleged crime took place, the one thing any investigator needs is a location. Ford did not give a location. Location in real estate. You need a location. No, Sigil J. Oh my God, CNN just tweeted a story of Kavanaugh not shaking. Yeah, it's crazy because CNN is the Democratic Party. So no, Sigil J. CNN is basically the DNC. So that helps me. That helps me become less indignant because nowadays I just look at them like, that's it. I mean, they're throwing everything they have. Now, there's going to be, on the bright side, there's going to be a tremendous meltdown. And it's going to short circuit for at least a day. And mentally and emotionally, in terms of a psychic kind of short circuiting. What's going to happen is they're going to, when they lose on November 6th, November 7th, 8th, and 9th, they won't know what to talk about. Nosicle J, thank you. Tamara Friedman, the Democratic Party died today, and they'll be buried on November 6th, 2018. Yep. Democrats, I think, died the day that they cheated Bernie Sanders, but I think that also they died today also. It was really the end of the Democratic Party today, because let me tell you, even Chuck Todd, I was looking at MSNBC and I didn't want to go back. I didn't want to go and look at MSNBC. I was like, no, gosh, I don't want to hear this. But I wanted to I forced myself to do it. And they were even saying that Kavanaugh was poignant. They know they're going to gravitate towards power. So is the intelligence community. And eventually Hillary Clinton will get charged with a crime. Eventually. We're going to have a party on November 6th. We're going to have a party on November 6th, 2018. But let's continue with he was brilliant, Graham.
That you knew about it and you held it. You had no intention of protecting Dr. Ford. None. She's as much of a victim as you are. God, I hate to say it, because these have been my friends. But let me tell you, when it comes to this, you're looking for a fair process. You came to the wrong town at the wrong time, my friend. Do you consider this a job interview?
The advice and consent role is like a job.
Do you consider that you've been through a job interview?
I've been through a process of advice and consent under the Constitution.
Would you say you've been through hell?
I've been through hell and then some.
This is not a job interview.
Yeah.
This is hell.
This
is going to destroy the ability of good people to come forward because of this crap. Your high school yearbook. You have interacted with professional women all your life, not one accusation.
By the way, the guy had Kavanaugh had it was 160 women sign letters in his defense. 160 women. This did more for wrongfully accused people than it did for the Me Too movement today. Democrats, everything they touch, they're like the Midas of poop. Everything they touch turns to poop. They're the poop Midas. Copyright that. Everything they touch just turns to excrement. Well, just, like Gavin Newsom. Poop Midas TM. Patty Williamson, HA, does Kay have a case against these people? Patty, he sure does. I think that though, I think he's just going to get confirmed and then just walk off into the sunset into the Supreme Court. He'll get confirmed tomorrow or Monday or Tuesday, hopefully tomorrow. So Patty, tomorrow, hopefully he'll get confirmed tomorrow. But the Democrats, everything they touch turns to poop. Well, wait, it makes sense. All of LA is like San Francisco. It's just everywhere you park your car, you smell human poop, which is horrible. But that's Gavin Newsom. But I mean, it's I swear to they can't do anything right. They are so inept, but also arrogant. That is a bad combination. But Republicans will make you humble. His like Iron Sheik. I make you humble. I make you humble. They're gonna be made humble on November 6th. My friend does the best Iron Sheik. I make you humble. They're gonna be they're gonna be made humble on November 6th, 2018, and they're so arrogant. They're so arrogant. I must break you. I break you. They're so arrogant and inept and ruthless. Like Ruthless Rothfuss in Pennsylvania. The guy that I call Ruthless Rothfuss. He's awesome. He could defeat Connor Lamb. Do you want? Connor Lamb likes bad things. And you voted to save the peregrine field mouse. That's right. You voted for the field mouse. Little jumping mouse. Not you. I will play the Rothfuss ad in a second. But this is, I mean, God bless Lindsey Graham. He hit it out of the park. By the way, I was at Game 6 of the World Series in Anaheim, and I saw Scott Spezio hit 3-run homer, then Garrett Anderson and Troy Gloss hit the game-winning get the game-winning run and hit. It was awesome. It was crazy. Russ Ortiz was pitching Game 6 World Series. Amazing. And then he lost. And then they pulled Russ Ortiz, and then the Angels came back. I was hugging people I didn't know. Everyone was hugging. It was crazy. But anyway, let's continue.
You're supposed to be Bill Cosby when you're a junior and senior in high school. And all of a sudden you got over it. It's been my understanding that if you drug women and raped them for 2 years in high school, you probably don't stop. Here's my understanding. If you lived a good life, people would recognize it. Like the American Bar Association has the gold standard. His integrity is absolutely unquestioned. He is very circumspect in his personal conduct, harbors no bias.
If you are somebody who, because what they want to do is they're like, well, we need the FBI to investigate. They're obviously, the FBI is inept and incompetent, and they have 302s. What 302s are is that you might not even lie to an FBI agent. They can say, oh, he lied to me, and it's not recorded, and there's the 302. There's the piece of paper. Like General Michael Flynn, he's an honorable man. James Comey even said, now he didn't really lie. He didn't lie at all, actually. Not really. He didn't lie. But they still got him aligned. Why? Because Peter Strzok interviewed Flynn. Peter Strzok interviewed Flynn. How on earth can you justify that if you're the FBI? I mean, Trump needs to just pardon him tomorrow or clear him of everything. But the Mueller probes, how much winning can you do? And how much losing can you do? You're so inept. The problem with Democrats, they don't know they're losing. So you're kind of like dealing with people who are not mentally all there. And like, you're losing, right? You're not winning. They're down 50-0 and they're like, yeah. No, you're losing. You're really losing, but go ahead, crazy people. Pretend you're winning. Rosenstein's out the door soon. That means Mueller is going to be gone. Midterms, Republicans are going to sweep both the House and Congress, the Senate. And I mean sweep in terms of 2 wins for each chamber, 1 win for the House, 1 win for the Senate. Not every contest. It could be up to 22 seats that Democrats win. I doubt after today they win more than 12 or 13. I doubt. I don't see a blue. I think today helped people who were long shots, who were Republicans, to actually win their congressional districts. You give Democrats the keys, it's game over. Patty Williams said, no, thank you. Sorry, me again. Feinstein lying about leak to media. Feinstein perhaps is not mentally all there. Perhaps she's, who knows? poor lady, she was like, I asked, I'm asking them right now. Did you leak anything? Oh, they said no. Like, so Patty, we don't know. I mean, definitely the Democrats leaked it. Was it Feinstein's office? We don't know. Did another Democrat like Dickie Durbin get it from Feinstein? Who knows? Could have been Cory Booker, could have been Kamala Harris, could have been the senator from Hawaii, could have been Durbin, could have been Blumenthal, could have been anyone. Thank you again, Patty. So we don't know. We do not 100% know. And Democrats, they're like vile. They're vile. Britton Johnson just got to tune into you, HA. Glad to be here. 1, Kavanaugh gets confirmed. Yes. 2, we win midterms. 3, Trump 2020. 4, America sees another 20 years of winning. Absolutely. Britton Johnson. Oh my God. Could you imagine the 2020 victory? There. Because, okay, this is the interesting thing. I have a sneaking suspicion that they still won't learn how horrible they are. I think that Democrats will probably be like, oh yeah, you won the midterms, even though everyone said we're going to get 40 seats. Even though 538 said we have an 80% chance of getting the House. Well, we're going to double down and triple down, and we're going to just do everything the same again. And then they'll lose even more miserably 2020. So we'll see. We'll see if they finally look in the mirror and realize how horrible and inept they are. It's a toss-up. It probably they won't realize that. Maybe they lack the intelligence to realize how horrible they are. But Britton Johnson, thank you. They're done. Ethan Long and lo, the Democrats have to become a blight upon the earth, and everything they touch shall wither and perish. Ethan Long. Everything that they touch, they're like the Midas of poop. The poop Midas. It's like touch everything turns to gold. Well, no, it turns to poop. Like, oh no, don't hug me.
Or prejudices. He's entirely ethical. Is a really decent person. He is warm, friendly, unassuming. He's the nicest person. The ABA. But one thing I can tell you should be proud of, Ashley, you should be proud of this, that you raised a daughter who had the good character to pray for Dr. Ford. To my Republican colleagues, if you vote no, you're legitimizing the most despicable thing I have seen in my time in politics. You want this seat? I hope you never get it.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you're on the Supreme Court. That's exactly where you should be. And I hope that the American people will see through this charade. And I wish you well, and I intend to vote for you, and I hope everybody who's fair-minded will.
Jeff Flake. No one buys your crap, Jeff Flake. Oh, I'm really... No one cares, Corker Flake. No one cares. Let's see this guy, Flake. People are sickening. I'm not even a Republican. Sickening. I just don't like Trump's demeanor. I don't care if you like his demeanor. Do your job, dummy. I don't care what you like. You think I care what you like, Flake? No one cares what you like. Nosicle J. I've tweeted Sherman and Dickie Durbin about that. And the ukulele, no less. That's a nice instrument. My God. Well, whatever you do, don't call Avenatti. God bless you, Nosicle J. Dickie Durbin doesn't have Twitter, and Schumer is like, he's just useless. Schumer and Pelosi, they're going to get it after the midterms, Nosicle J. It's going to be funny. Pelosi's going to be like, I still think that I can be speaker. What? Everyone hates me? Oh. What do you mean everyone hates me? Nosicle J. Judy Russell. She went to parties. Too much credit to Joe Biden stated. FBI half sleep, period. Not period during Clarence Thomas. I'm looking at the Clarence Thomas thing myself, Judy. I look at that as a different ball game now than I did before when I was on the left. I'm listening to Clarence Thomas, his testimony. But Judy Russell, thank you, Judy, thank you. Calamity 450, Ivanka 2024. Other thoughts? I tell you, gosh, Britton Johnson, Corker is a confirmed yes vote. Okay, good. 2024, that'll be the only hope for Democrats if they pick someone like Tulsi Gabbard. But that would have to mean that they completely restructure, and it's a toss-up. Otherwise, they lose again. They'll probably lose again. The only way Democrats actually rebuild is when Clinton gets indicted. So Trump would actually be rebuilding the Democratic Party if he does that. Shay, HA, please listen to Bush praise Brett. Rand Cross, Bush Kavanaugh, 2006 swearing in ceremony. At politics, dude. Start 30 seconds. Your viewers will enjoy. Thanks. Shay, I will. I can't stand George W, but I will look it. I will try to find it. Okay. Bush Kavanaugh swearing in ceremony at politics, dude. All right, I will definitely check that out. Shay, thank you. Thank you, Shay. I'll try to get that done soon. Thank you, Shay. Rhonda, Iowa Girl, HATownhall.com. He has the votes. Yes. Roy K, what a joke today. Sad day. Yep. But, I mean, let's listen to this idiot. This guy makes me sick. He makes me sick. I'm not even a Republican. He just makes me sick because he just wants, you're not, it's done. It's already Trump's Republican Party. The McCains, the Bushes, all of these people, they will never again become the Republican Party. Let's hear what this guy says.
We're here. We see Senator Flake talking about Kavanaugh. Let's listen in.
It feels a bit odd in this political setting to specify their humanity, but we need to. And I admit it feels strange to have to do that, but we in this political culture and in this city and in
this is Jeff Flake of Arizona.
This building, even in this chamber, we seem to sometimes forget that before this woman and this man are anything else, they are human beings.
I will, Beverly.
We sometimes seem intent on stripping people of their humanity.
Okay, enough.
Hence, each of these witnesses have reportedly been subject to death threats.
So have I. Everybody who's in any type of limelight, nobody really knows who I am. I have to. Everyone has.
They will presumably hear what they want to hear and disregard the rest. One is tempted to ask, why even bother having a hearing?
Well, why bother having a hearing if we have people like you?
And this body will acknowledge that we don't have all the answers. We are imperfect humans.
No one cares about your theological or philosophical or existential. Just do your job and vote for a person who hasn't had a criminal allegation with evidence leveled against him. That's it. You need evidence. So this was the other day. This was not today. But I just wanted to see what this guy sounded like. Same pompous, dumb. We get it. You don't like Trump. Fine. But you're a Republican, the Republican Party. The president nominates a Supreme Court justice. If you didn't want that to take place, you shouldn't have cheated Bernie Sanders. Agent Pepsi One hearing today the total hypocritical sham of the Dems has been exposed. The Dems proved themselves to be outright thugs. Yes, once again, go Brett. Yep. And they awakened a sleeping giant. You had all these people. Gee, you think the enthusiasm gap? There was never an enthusiasm gap. There was always enthusiasm. There was always enthusiasm for Trump and to vote against Democrats. Now you've unified. You have made certain that close races that you lost 8 out of 10 Democrats. Democrats lost 8 out of 10 races. They lost 8 out of 10. They are 2 and 8. No, 2 out of 10. Yeah, 2 and 8. Republicans are 8 and 2. Democrats are 2 and 8. Republicans are 8 and 2 in special elections. And each one has been, well, no, the ones they won were very, very close. The last one was very, very close in Ohio. And they say, oh my God, that means there's going to be a blue wave. No, that means the media pinpointed one contest and said, vote, vote, vote. Just like they did in Georgia with what's his name? $30 million in John Ossoff. $30 million. $30 million. $30 million for John Ossoff in Georgia, and they still lost. More money than any congressional candidate in history, and they still lost. All because they wanted that prize. Oh, we got a seat in Georgia. This is the blue wave. They're always into these symbolic victories. And then not only do they not get the victory, but they lose the battle. They lose the entire, they have no strategy. Democrats are going to lose, like I've been saying for months. I've been saying it since May. They are going to lose on the midterms, and they're going to have a meltdown of epic proportions. And they're going to be embarrassed yet again. They tried to criminalize American life today. Did you drink beers? Look at your yearbook. Or can you be sure? Can you be sure? They don't care. They'll destroy. They will attack. They will smear. They will do anything they can for power. And they're so inept, they can't even get the power they attain. They want so badly. They crave, they desire, they worship this power. And it's elusive to them. They can't wrap their grubby little fingers around it. They're like I'm telling you, they're like the guy from Lord of the Rings. Like, precious, precious. In the Senate, we can look at the Senate. The Senate races, but there's like about 6 or 7 Dems can lose. And, you know, it's Rick Scott can win in Florida. Braun can win in Indiana. McCaskill's going to lose. Heidkamp is going to lose. That's 4 right there. Tester could lose in Montana. I mean, who knows? Manchin could lose, but might not. John James can win in Michigan. New Jersey, Menendez is going to lose, very likely. I mean, you have a lot of problems. You have a lot of problems in the Senate. A lot of problems. The House is going to remain Republican. I don't care if it's 22 or 1 seat they get net gain. But Sarah Carter, Trump should declassify the documents requested by Congress, and that's taking place. McCabe memos are going to be let out. Eric H526, I'm looking forward to November. Dems will go down. Absolutely they will. Medrano M. Medrano M, thank you. So, I mean, it's in Virginia, might stay Democrat, but in Florida, Indiana, Missouri, North Dakota, Montana, and maybe even Minnesota, maybe Michigan, New Jersey. I think New Jersey, Florida, Indiana, Missouri, and North Dakota, that's 5 right there, go Republican. I don't see McCaskill winning. We'll see. I mean, there's so much right now. Democrats. I mean, then look, they had David Brock come out of the woodwork, like a little slimy, little horrible creature, come out and it's really unbelievable. Like, let's look at Indiana. So Braun, Donnelly, polls. If you have, it's supposed to be a blue wave. If you have an incumbent Democrat that is barely holding on to dear life in the polls, the Republican's going to win. So in Indiana, let's go ahead. I'll write this down. I want to see how good my predictions are regarding all of this. So I am telling you that the House will remain Republican. But let's go do the Senate right now, since we have over 1,000 people. So Senate, I think Braun beats. I think that Mike Braun beats Donnelly. I really do. Indiana is Trump country generally. There are Democrats in Indiana, but Indiana is Trump country. So I think that Braun. So I think Braun defeats Donnelly in Indiana. Okay. And mind you, it wasn't so clear cut about a month ago. Okay. Now, separated by 2 points in the polls. Yes, I understand polls. I don't really place a lot of emphasis on polls, but you also got to understand that polls are good sometimes with just looking at momentum. Bruce Tomaszewski. Mendez is in serious trouble. Oh, yeah. Oh, big time. Big time. Julio, what difference does it make at this point? Why does she look like HRC with the glasses? Julio, we got over 1,000 people. So, and then we have, so Nelson and Rick Scott. So I think Indiana's going to flip. Let's look at Nelson and Rick Scott. Nelson, Scott, polls. I think Rick Scott's going to win. Nelson up by 1.1. Yeah, I would say Rick Scott's going to win. And I think that, if you have Andrew Gillum, if Hillary Clinton is fundraising for Andrew Gillum, he's short on fundraising money. If you need the Clintons to raise money for you and you're a Bernie candidate, yeah, you're not getting the $27 per voter. So I think that DeSantis is going to win, and Rick Scott in Florida is going to defeat Florida. Rick Scott defeats Nelson. So Rick Scott defeats Bill Nelson. And we can go ahead and look at this and tell me again how there's going to be a blue wave if you have all this winning. Andrew Balthazar, Pelosi, please go away. Thank you for your service to our nation. Everyone, please go vote these germs out. Thank you, Andrew. Yes, everyone, vote. Everyone vote. So Cruz is going to defeat Beto O'Rourke. You're not going to run an anti-NRA candidate in Texas. That doesn't make any sense at all, but it only makes sense in the warped minds of Democrats. Whatever. McCaskill's going to lose. McCaskill's going to lose in Missouri. So in the three races I just showed you right now, Indiana, Mike Braun defeats Joe Donnelly. Florida, Rick Scott defeats Bill Nelson. Now Hawley is up. He's not even going to be, it's going to be easy. Josh Hawley in Missouri. But Josh Hawley. So if I got 1,000 people, I want everyone to remember, I'm telling you what's going to happen. The House is going to remain Republican. Democrats are going to have an epic meltdown, and the Republicans are going to gain the Senate. That's after 2 years of all the nonsense and propaganda and the arrogance. Josh Hawley defeats Claire McCaskill. And you better believe after today, whereas these races could have been possibly close, possibly, today it's like the extra push. JW, Beach, friends give the best advice. JW. So you have that's three Republican wins right there. Mike Braun in Indiana, Rick Scott in Florida, Josh Hawley in Missouri. Let's go ahead. Heidkamp. I think that she'll lose. It'll be interesting what happens. Oh, yeah. He's up by 1.6. And see, the thing is, I don't really, like I said, I don't care so much about polls. It's the direction. It's the momentum. You're supposed to have a blue wave. How on earth, in North Dakota, how on earth do you have all these senators not being able to defend their incumbent position? So Kevin Cramer will defeat. So that's four solid wins right there. Like I'm not worried about all of these, like Donnelly, Nelson, McCaskill, and Heidi Heidkamp. They're not like that popular within their own states. So tell me again, because you're going to have people, it's all on the same ballot. You're going to have people going to vote for the Senate and then also voting, for the Republican. Now, Menendez, he's in deep trouble. Deep trouble. Because you have Bob Hugin. Deep trouble. You have Bob Hugin, and they are neck and neck in the polls right now. Well, at least they don't seem to be that close right now, but you had Menendez, who needs Hillary Clinton to fundraise for him in a steakhouse soon. Now, the latest poll shows Menendez up by 6, but you got to understand, there's a poll that shows Menendez up by 2, but several months back, Menendez was up by 21. Bob Hugin can easily win New Jersey. Easily win New Jersey. I think Bob Hugin defeats Bob Menendez. I really think that happens. So that's 5 right there. And ladies and gentlemen, Menendez is the incumbent. So you're actually taking a seat. Well, no, I'm saying you're taking a seat from all of these. Donnelly, Nelson, McCaskill, and Heitkamp are all Democrats. So, I mean, that's 5 seats right there. That's 5 seats right now. Now, you have a possibility with Debbie Stabenow. John James. There's a possibility. There's a possibility. I don't know, because Stabenow's been there a long time. People like her a lot, I think. Well, Stabenow up 18, but there are some polls that say that John James is close. So let's just say she wins. She keeps her Senate seat. The Roseman, the fall will be epic. Absolutely. 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 Marty Sigwald, GoFundMe is a Democrat way to pay people like Ford off. Think about it, Ford Fund Me is, wow, 400 grand. Wow. Wow. I didn't even know that. The Roseman, Marty Sigwald, thank you. Now, let's see. Tim Kaine polls. Stewart versus Kaine. I think Kaine is up in Virginia. Yeah, he's up 16. Virginia is a weird place. The Democrats have a stranglehold. But you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Senate seats. 5 Senate seats. North Dakota, Missouri, Indiana, Florida, and I think New Jersey will go Republican. Now, Minnesota. Let's see Minnesota. That's a close one. That's a close one. So Tina Smith and Karen Housley. That's close. And Keith Ellison isn't doing anyone any favors. So I'm just going to go on a limb here and say that Karen Housley, let's see. Let's see. Tina Smith. I think that's possible. You know, 6 points down. I mean, today also, you got to understand, today is a consolidation of power in the Republican Party, and yet another miserably failed attempt at a power grab. And I don't even know really who they're looking at in terms of Ubin David. No, CNN has a cottage industry on being kind of insane. So there's always going to be people who are like, oh, I got to watch CNN. But they'll lose if they haven't lost already. They'll continue to lose prestige. So what am I looking at here? All right, so we'll see what happens in Minnesota. We'll see what happens in Minnesota. Then there's, let's look at another. Let's see, Pennsylvania. Let's see what happens in Pennsylvania. But it's, oh yeah, no, the Republicans very far down. But I mean, there's a lot of time. But I think that these are five pretty New Jersey. Okay, 1, 2, Indiana, Florida, Missouri, North Dakota. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think Menendez loses. That's 5. That's 5 Democrats that can lose. So you can get 57. You can end up with 57. I mean, that's pretty. I mean, it's supposed to be a blue wave. You're supposed to have a blue wave. Patriot 95, the hate and slander only fuels MAGA fire. Exactly. Mr. LCS at CNN gestures for the poop Midas. Exactly. Stan Littman, what would be the reaction if there's a red wave and Dems lose 40 seats? Oh my God, it would be beautiful. But Stan, if they lose 2 seats, Stan, if they get only 5 net gains, I'm telling you right now, the media will go into panic mode if they lose, if they win maybe 15, 14, 16 and they lose. Or if they win 18, they still lose. They'll go into panic mode that night. So Stan, they'll go into panic mode that night, and then the next day, and then they'll be like, "Well, it's only we're only 3, 4 away from getting an impeachment. We can get 4 Republicans to impeach," and they'll spin it, and they won't. They don't even know what the meaning of losing is. But if they only get 10, it would be like losing 40 seats. If they only get like 10 or 11, or if they get 5 or 6 net gain, oh my God. Now, if they actually lose seats, like 1 or 2 or 3, they'll implode. They will implode. Dim Sung, HA, you have to manually okay my comments. Icon is delayed, then your arm moves and it appears. Usually banned if criticized mainstream media. Okay, Dim Sung, thank you. But I can see, I appreciate your super chat, and I will look for your comments. Dim Sung, thank you. Thank you, Dim Sung. Vincent Howard, California Red, John Cox for governor. I mean, he can get close. He could possibly win. John Cox could win. John Cox can win if that happens, Kimberlyn Pelzer Brown from 36th District. Yes. Never Democrat. Never, ever, ever, ever Democrat. Ever Democrat. So, never Democrat. I'm trying to look right here. So Manchin, I think, is doing okay in the polls. Let's see. Manchin. Well, West Virginia is a hardcore Trump country. So Joe Manchin could lose. Right now, he's up by 8 or 9. Patrick Morrissey could defeat Joe Manchin. I mean, I'm pretty comfortable with the 5 that I listed: New Jersey, North Dakota, Missouri, Florida, Indiana. But Minnesota, who knows? Morrissey can defeat Joe Manchin. I mean, you know, West Virginia is Trump country. So, I mean, anything's possible there. Anything is possible there. So, you know. If you're up by 8 right now, you have all of October, and you have millions of Americans seething in anger, seething in anger. Vincent, we're all seething in anger. We're all upset at what happened today. Okay? I mean, Joe Manchin's seat is not safe. Well, okay, tied in Virginia race just now. Okay, internal GOP poll, Morrison Manchin tied, and it's an internal GOP poll, but you know what? A lot of these internal polls in the GOP side, they actually make sense. The Democrats are just, you know, trying desperately to hold on to power. I don't trust their internal polls. West Virginia is Trump country. So, you know, that's Trump country. Sherrod Brown, let's see. Ohio Brown. Okay, double-digit lead. Brown has double-digit lead. Okay. So maybe not Ohio. Vincent Howard, thank you. Angela Goodwin, Hope in Alaska State Republican, but Walker must be out, and our representatives too. We have traitors on the Republican flag. They are packing us with liberals. Angela Goodwin. I agree. You definitely don't want rhinos. You don't want the Jeff Flake type person. Thank you. Thank you, Angela. Good one. Yeah, so I mean, you know, Montana tester. Montana also is. I mean, you have the Republican. I love this. They both have crew cuts. This is hilarious. It's like if I grew my hair out. Matt Rosendale. Matt Rosendale can defeat Tester. That actually is really interesting. I mean, the Senate looks like just a horrible, horrible situation. They can get routed in the Senate. Just routed. I mean, they don't realize how despised they are, the Democratic Party. They have no clue. They are so, so arrogant. They have no clue. So, I mean, let's see. They really don't know. I mean, look, I mean, you have this. I mean, I haven't really done a Senate, like each individual. Well, you can go Indiana. Mike Braun can defeat easily Joe Donnelly. I don't think there's any doubt Rick Scott defeats Bill Nelson. I don't think there's any doubt Josh Hawley defeats Claire McCaskill in Missouri. I don't think there's any doubt. Well, Kevin Kramer can easily defeat Heitkamp. Now, it's up in the air, but I think Bob Hugin can defeat Menendez at Indiana, Florida, Missouri, North Dakota, and New Jersey. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 wins for the Senate. Then you have Montana. I don't see Montana and West Virginia. Those are that's Trump country. Those are rural, two of the most rural states. So I don't see especially after today. I mean, do you really want Trump to go through the third? If they get 57, 58, 56, 57 senators, they could tell the Democrats to go take a hike. Like there won't be a need for any show, and they can just go ahead and Trump will just pack Amy Coney Barrett in, and it'll be the worst nightmare. You go let's say Ginsburg, retires. You go from Ginsburg to Amy Barrett, and it's like, what can they do? They lost the House already, and then they've shown to be complete lunatics with Kavanaugh. So what are they going to do? And then they lost seats in the Senate for the next 2 years. They're in the worst political situation in U.S. history as a political party, aside from the Whigs or whatever. Democrats are in the worst political situation they could, and they did it all to themselves, from cheating to blaming Russia, from cheating Bernie Sanders to blaming Russia to utilizing the media as an extension of their political campaign. And guess what? America hates both the media and the Democratic Party. I mean, they're so stupid. They're so arrogant and ignorant. It's a really, really bad combination to be. So, Mr. Zero Hedge saying Kavanaugh has the votes. Yes. Yes. Now, Wisconsin is interesting, too. So, Leah Vukmer, she could win, although the polls say that Tammy Baldwin is up by 11. But that could be a loss for Democrats. I mean, they could get swept, especially after today. Today was the worst. It was horrible for the House, but even worse for the Senate, because this happened in the Senate. Do you really want Senate Democrats to take over anything? I mean, anything. Do you want to give them power for anything? I mean, that's just that's like a recipe for disaster. That's like a recipe for disaster. You really want Tammy Baldwin can lose to Leah Vukmer. So, I mean, there's Republicans are probably not going to get all 8 or 9. But just now I looked at Indiana, Florida, Missouri, North Dakota, New Jersey, Montana, West Virginia, Minnesota, Wisconsin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 seats that are not in good shape. 9 seats that are really not in good shape. And I mean, they could literally go 6 or 7. Indiana with Mike Braun, Florida with Rick Scott, Missouri with Josh Hawley, North Dakota with Kevin Kramer, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a solid 4. Now, New Jersey could go Bob Hugin, and then you have Montana and West Virginia. Tester and Manchin can lose. So of the 9, you could get 6 to 7. You really could get 6 to 7. And they're not only in play, that's like you could really get 6 to 7. So yeah, I mean, and then you have Arizona. McSally hopefully will win that. Hopefully Heller stays in Nevada. Cruz is not going to lose. So, I mean, you could seriously say that 6, you could get 6. There's 52. You'll have 58 Republicans in the Senate. And with the House, I mean, you're gonna see just November 6th will be an historic day for American democracy. You're going to see the media get payback because the media puts all 1,000 people on this live stream. They put us all. They make us go through insanity. Patriot 95, I'm not happy with what I saw today. The way the Dems treated Kavanaugh makes my blood boil. Everyone's upset. I am voting all red in Cox in California. We must win midterms. We will win midterms. I'm telling you, we're going to win midterms. I'm telling you that. You know, we are all gonna go ahead. They're done. They're pretty much done. I mean, I don't, they are done. Ladies and gentlemen, they are done. So let's just go ahead and look. So, I mean, of those, and the momentum is going towards the Republican side. If you look really quickly, it is the polls, the generic polls. Stan Lippman, why don't Manchin and McCaskill vote for Kavanaugh to save their seats? I think even if they did, they wouldn't. I think it's gotten so bad. It's gotten so bad. I think Manchin and McCaskill voted for Gorsuch. But it's gotten so bad that, Mother Jones, like, what? They put beer. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? It means nothing. They don't get it. They actually don't realize. They actually don't realize what they've done. They have no clue what they've done. The Democratic Party has no clue what they've done. They think that they're still, they really, really, really think that they're the ones controlling politics. They're not. They're not. Lindsey Graham right now is a hero. He is definitely a hero. This is hilarious. Lindsey Graham did so well today. We'll just listen to this again.
And her staff had this alligator Dianne Feinstein on August 20th.
I did meet with Senator Feinstein.
Did you know that her staff had already recommended a lawyer to Dr. Ford?
I did not know that.
Did you know that her and her staff had this allegations for over 20 days?
I did not know that at the time.
If you wanted an FBI investigation, you could have come to us. What you want to do is destroy this guy's life, hold this seat open, and hope you win in 2020. You said that, not me. You've got nothing to apologize for. When you see Sotomayor and Kagan, tell them that Lindsey said hello, because I voted for them. I would never do to them what you've done to this guy. This is the most unethical sham since I've been in politics. And if you really wanted to know the truth, you sure as hell wouldn't have done what you done to this guy. Did you?
They made everything so vague. They made everything so utterly vague. Annabomb 31458 to the beach friends and Eric Adam Bomb 31458. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, they've taken the most absurd political stunt. A political stunt that will only backfire on them, like everything backfires on them. Like everything backfires on them. And then they'll wonder why they lost. Then they'll go ahead and they'll blame some country. Yeah, well, American Bar Association on Senate to halt Kavanaugh until the FBI completes a probe. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Oh, that ain't going to happen. There is no probe to go ahead, and the Senate under Grassley has the votes. He can't wait any longer. He can't wait any longer. You know. Horace! Lindsey might just have cast the specter of McCain with that, right? I just barked down in today's hearings. Yep. Horace, yes. Thank you, Horace. Thank you, Horace. Yeah, I mean, They have to vote tomorrow or Monday. They have to go ahead, and they cannot wait because the Democratic Party is just ruthless. They're ruthless. And all they want is power. They don't care about, there's nothing to investigate. It is, you would have to go back in time. You would literally have to go back in time. You would literally have to go back and go back in time. And like you couldn't go ahead. There's nothing the FBI is going to do. They hide behind the FBI as if they like it's their like little blankie or their best friend. Well, let the FBI look. Why? Because okay, Senate Judiciary Committee. This is WayneDupree.com. Senate Judiciary Committee schedules vote for Friday morning. VP and President agree. Wow. Confirmation vote next week. Pence says he's ready. Trump says he's ready. Pence says, I stand with Kavanaugh a couple hours ago. Today, Senate Republicans conducted a hearing that was fair and respectful to Judge Kavanaugh and Dr. Ford. The same could not be said of the Democrats. Based on today and his decades of service, I stand with Judge Kavanaugh, a person of integrity and impeccable credentials. Take the vote. Take the vote. Take the vote. Now they're pulling out all the stops. The American Bar Association very likely gets a lot of money from Democrats. So they're like, take the vote. I mean, do you really want Democrats in power? I think not. I don't even think a lot of Democrats want Democrats in power. Well, I know that there's a walk away and everything, so. Today was a very important day in American history. And it was a day where the media knew that it lost because they were actually trying to be somewhat fair to Kavanaugh today. Somewhat. A lot of them were. Because they knew there's this charade. There's this ridiculous charade. It was a long day in history. It was. It was a very powerful, not many, this is something that social media couldn't touch today. Really nothing social media it wasn't driven by social media. It was, a courtroom, and it was an American courtroom drama. And the Democrats were like, well, it's not a courtroom, This Democrats, they're so coy. They're so duplicitous. They're so disingenuous. They're just so corrupt and evil. They're like, well, you don't need evidence, because it wasn't a court of law. They don't care. They just don't care. They just totally want to just, win at all costs. And it's that sick desire to win at all costs that keeps them from winning. So let's look at, and the funny thing, and it's also sad and pathetic, is that Democrats don't think they're losing. Like, they don't think today was a bad day for them. They really don't. And then New York Times, oh, it's unsettling temperament in a man trying to persuade the nation of his judicial demeanor. No. If you go ahead and you accuse an innocent man or an innocent woman of something they didn't do, they're going to be emotional. Yet again, a flawed, not a flawed, horrible. A horrible take. And Coulter says it was the Me Too moment. That's hilarious. Lindsey Graham again.
Know that her and her staff had this allegations for over 20 days.
I did not know that at the time.
They had 20 days before they had met Kavanaugh. They had the information. If they wanted an FBI investigation, they could have gotten one. They didn't get one.
If you wanted an FBI investigation, you could have come to us. Staff had already recommended a lawyer to Dr. Ford.
I did not know that.
Did you know that her and her staff had this allegations for over 20 days?
I did not know that at the time.
If you wanted an FBI investigation, you could have come to us. What you want to do is destroy this guy's life, hold this seat open, and hope you win in 2020. You said that, not me. You've got nothing to apologize for. When you see Sotomayor and Kagan, tell them that Lindsey said hello, because I voted for them. I would never do to them what you've done to this guy. This is the most unethical sham since I've been in politics. And if you really wanted to know the truth, you sure as hell wouldn't have done what you've done to this guy.
You know what? Lindsey Graham was heroic today. He really was. He was really heroic. He was really, really heroic. He was really heroic, and he spoke for millions and millions and millions of people. He really did. He really did. He spoke for millions of people. You cannot do that. And these are the same. Look, I'm telling you, I wrote 100 articles in the Huffington Post, the Hill and Salon, saying that Bernie Sanders would defeat Hillary Clinton, telling people, telling Democrats, I'm telling you that she's going to lose. And people try to mock me. People try to insult me. They wrote hit pieces on me. Daily Beast wrote a hit piece on me. Raw Story wrote hit pieces on me. Couple like low-level, no-name publications kept writing hit pieces on me. Didn't faze me. They actually helped me, made my voice stronger. They try to knock you down, but if you keep going, they can't knock you down because they can't knock down logic. Logic exists independent of left, right. And actually, when people try to hurt you, logic only gains strength. And I know, I was there. I know the way they think. Democrats don't care about, they almost don't care about winning and losing. They almost don't care about winning or losing. Mullet Baby 01, thank you. They almost don't care about winning or losing. They just want to go ahead and hurt. And they're arrogant. and they think that they think that they're about to win the midterms, okay? They think that the odds are with them for winning they think that the media is going to always stand by them. They think that the FBI is always going to stand by them. They wouldn't be calling for the FBI if they didn't think they still had the FBI in their grasp. They won't after midterms, because once Rosenstein is out and Democrats have political will, you'll see Christopher Wray, you'll see all of them, even Sessions maybe. Hopefully Sessions will be. Omar Pena, thank you. Hopefully Sessions will be fired after Rosenstein. I'm reading this is hilarious. So, if you vote no, you're legitimizing the most despicable thing I have seen in my time in politics. So, it's game over. And Chris Wallace is so stupid at Fox. He's so lame, Chris Wallace. A disaster for Republicans. Oh, yeah, right. It was the best. It sadly was what Republicans needed to just unify completely. I mean, they were already going to win, but now it could be just historic. Blessed Hope. Hey, buddy. Thank you, Blessed Hope. Hello. Thank you. Thank you, Blessed Hope. All right, ladies and gentlemen, God bless. Thank you so very, very much. It's been emotional, an emotional roller coaster today. It really has been an emotional roller coaster today. And we had over 1,000 this live stream, even without notification. I'm just thankful. And to my super chat, thank you so very much. Everybody, God bless. Brett Kavanaugh is going to be confirmed. And you tried to ruin the wrong guy, demo rats. I watch Kevin's Corner. He says demo rats. Subscribe to Kevin's Corner. He's awesome. Thank you, G-Man. Thank you, everyone. They messed with the wrong person today. And they had the allegation for a month. Over a month, they did nothing. Give me your thoughts. They don't care about women or Me Too. They care about pure, unadulterated power. God bless everyone. Thank you so much. To my super chat, thank you. I'll see you all tomorrow, and we will have good news on Kavanaugh very, very soon. Thank you, everyone.